Good morning, good evening, whatever time of day it is for you. Welcome to this thing that I do called Thor's Entertainment. I am Thor, and today I'm doing another Fatal Friday video. And Fatal Friday is the series I do where I go into the Kombat League for Mortal Kombat 1, and I casually try to get the unique finishers for the main roster and Kameo fighters. And by unique finishers, I mean the Brutalities and Fatalities for those characters. And for this week, the Kameo Scorpion is going to have one of his finishers highlighted for the very first time. He's going to be breaking out his swords and putting them to good use as he cuts away at the opponent in order to get the slice above brutality, which is just the brutality version of that overhead sword swing that Scorpion does.
If we band together across timelines, no one could
take one. Action!
And yeah, that overhead sword swing that Scorpion can pull off for you, it is a pretty useful trick. It is an excellent combo starter, especially if you can condition the opponent to start blocking low. So yeah, if you have a combo that ends in a low, go ahead and try that a few times, and once your opponent thinks they've got it all figured out, go ahead and throw out the Scorpion overhead to really keep them guessing and extend that combo. Or of course, if you're on the verge of winning the entire match, go ahead and throw it out there and try to get the brutality that we are shooting for here today. And the opponent that we are going to be going against this time around in order to try and get this finisher for the Kameo Scorpion, well, that opponent is going to be using Quan Chi and the Kameo Kano, which, for all the finisher videos that I have for the Kameo Scorpion, I also use Quan Chi. So as a result of that, we are getting a bit of a mirror match here today. Which, when comparing the two, my Quan Chi is by far the least customized of the two, basically just switching out his original attire for the yellowish one so that he can kind of match up with Scorpion. My opponent, on the other hand, went with the version of Quan Chi that looks like he's about to go into the Avatar state, and just has a bunch of glowing blue tattoos and eyes. Starting to think that maybe I should have tried that one out. And if I ever decide I want to break out Quan Chi again for any particular reason, maybe I will. Like, off the top of my head, I know that things have changed for Quan Chi since I recorded these videos, because this is basically day 1 Quan Chi on the footage right now. And I know he's been patched since then, getting some new moves, and some of his old moves have new attributes, like his bone cage now activates even if the opponent is blocking. And that could be handy for some Kameo finishers, so I could use him again. And now, bear witness to the absolute pinnacle of Mortal Kombat 1 gameplay, as I low poke not once, twice, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times. All consecutively without breaking it up with any sort of other attack, the ultimate skill of Mortal Kombat 1. Yeah, I was definitely being cheesy as hell with this one. Which, in all fairness, there was actually a reason for all of that, other than just, trying to annoy my opponents a little bit. I actually was just trying to weaken him as much as humanly possible without actually killing him, because I only need one more round to win the entire match, but I still want to pull off that brutality with the Kameo Scorpion. Hitting the opponent with the swords, it's not the most damaging attack, so I did want them in a range where I was confident that they were going to die the moment that Scorpion's swords hit them, or, combo into it when I knew that they were already dead. And then the brutality would activate, and job well done. So yeah, that was kind of the rationale behind why I was low poking that much, but it is still really funny to watch back in hindsight. However, after having done that, I ended up spending all of my Kameo meter on Scorpion trying to go for the brutality, and I eventually ran out, which caused me to need to stall a little bit and hope that the Kameo gauge would recharge enough to where I could use that attack one more time and then get the brutality. And while I was stalling, my opponent had every opportunity they could possibly hope for in order to try and damage me and get back into the fight. Fortunately, this third round is going substantially better, and I have a very good opportunity of getting that brutality here.
to the netherrealm with you.
Brutality! Quan Chi wins.
And there it was, accomplished in the very first match of this set. We ended up getting the slice above brutality for the Kameo Scorpion. So yeah, we end up summoning Scorpion to go ahead and cut up the opponent with those swords at the very end of the match. But instead of being a combo extender like it would normally be, Scorpion uses the swords to go ahead and literally disarm the opponent. And then, unsatisfied with just that mutilation, he goes ahead and pulls off his... what would you call that? Face mask? That just makes me think of football, but sure, we'll call it that. Yeah, he pulls off his face mask and then uses all the hellfire he has within him as a flamethrower to melt off the face of the opponent. It's actually pretty good for a cameo brutality. Most of them are kind of basic, but that one was kind of awesome. So having gotten that brutality in the very first match of the set, I suddenly found myself with a lot of leeway in how I could end up finishing the entire set. Like, my only goal whenever it comes to these videos is to get the finisher at least one time. After that, I don't really care how I win, just so long as, I finish strong and the video's worth watching. Ideally, I'd get the brutality twice, and I definitely will be shooting for that here today, but even if I don't end up getting it, that's not the end of the world. I got it once, that's good enough for me. So needless to say, whenever I do see myself getting the brutality in the very first match, things are just much more relaxed the rest of the set. And as I am doing this voiceover for gameplay that I accomplished a long time ago, I definitely don't mean stress right now. I'm thinking about back whenever I was actually trying to get the brutality. Whenever I got on the first try like that, it just took all the nerves off and things were much more chill the rest of the fight.
Constant torment is my
Brutality! Quan Chi wins.
And there it is. That was the slice above brutality for the Kameo Scorpion. ×2. It's always nice when we can double down on these brutalities and pull them off on more than one occasion, allowing us the opportunity to show it off as much as possible in a single video. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that one. Overall, a really strong performance by me. The only loss I took was whenever I was just stalling and killing time waiting for my cameo gauge to recharge. And then, of course, whenever I was stalling, it didn't work out. My opponent came back and won that fight, and, well, I had to wait one more round in order to get the brutality, which, having gotten it twice in a single video, I think it's worth the wait. So yeah, thank you to my randomly paired up opponent from the Kombat League from back when I first recorded this. It was a fun one, and we're going to go ahead and wrap this video up. Even though we did manage to get the brutality on 2 separate occasions in this video, I will show it off one more time at the very end. That way we can all enjoy it one final time before we part ways on this Fatal Friday. But yeah, this was the very first of the Kameo Scorpion finisher videos that I have to do. And I'm pretty much going to be doing the voiceover and editing for those videos back to back, so all those are going to be released here pretty close to each other. I'd say within the next 3 weeks or so. So yeah, we're going to get all of those knocked out, and then at that point, we should have all of the finisher videos done for both Quan Chi and the Kameo Scorpion. It's always nice to be knocking out the entire set of finishers for multiple characters. But of course, if any new finishers have been released in the time between whenever I am voicing this over and the video is actually uploaded, I will go back and actually try to accomplish those with those characters at some point. But yeah, for now, I am very close to being done with both of them, so that's a pretty good feeling. Anyway, thank you for watching the video, and I do hope you have enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to check out some of the other stuff I have on the Thor's Entertainment channel. I do have other finisher videos just like this under the Mortal Kombat 1 online playlist, so if you enjoyed this, feel free to check those out as well. Anyway, this feels like a good stopping point. To anyone watching, take care, and hopefully I see you next time.
To the nether realm with you.
Brutality! Quan Chi wins.